You hear everybody, you want to thank everybody, and you certainly have to. And I will, right toward the end. I want to tell you a few stories. Number one, there's no such thing as a good pitching coach without great pitchers. And a good pitching coach doesn't mess them up. But a lot of people want to know, a couple of stories about Mad Dog or Glavine or Smoltzy. Greg Maddux had a mind of his own that I've never been around anybody in baseball with the way his mind works. So we were playing a game against San Diego. We're in Atlanta. This is when San Diego was real good. There's a short fly ball to left center, okay? We're up 1-0. The Padres got runners on second and third in the sixth. Short fly ball to left center. Doesn't look like anybody's going to find it. So finally, Klesko dives and he makes the catch. So we're in the dugout. And Maddux goes, let's go. That's not a hard play. I said, hey, why don't you relax? I said, we made the play. He goes, yeah, Leo, but that ball was in the air 7 seconds. I said, yeah, okay. He goes, well, 7 seconds is an easy catch in fair territory. 4 seconds is a dive, and 3 seconds is a base hit. I said, yeah, I know. Never heard that before in my life, Well, anyway, Tim McCarver's at the game. This is a Friday night game, so Tim McCarver is scouting that game so that we can do the game of the week. So now I'm meeting with McCarver the next day. We ended up winning the game. And McCarver says, hey, he said, did you and Maddux have words in the dugout last night about the 6th inning? I said, nah, Tim, I don't know what you're talking about. I said, he was a little upset because, he thought that was going to be an easier play. And McCarver said, yeah, but you made the play. I said, yeah, Tim, but the ball was in the air 7 seconds. He goes, what? He said, the ball was in the air 7 seconds. I said, 7 seconds is an easy catch. 4 seconds is a dive, and 3 seconds is a base hit in fair territory. He goes, how do you know that? I said, I've done my research. I know what the hell I'm doing. So I went in and told Maddux I stole his 7-second stuff. He goes, that's good coaching, Leo. And I don't know if you saw recently the documentary on the professor. The story goes about me going to the mound to talk to Mad Dog. Well, what happened was before that game, everybody, Tim can tell you, Marquise can tell you, Tim may have a hitter he can't get out, Marquise has a pitcher he can't hit. Maddux could not get out Luis Gonzalez from Arizona, good left-handed hitter. So Bobby refused to have Maddux walk anybody. I'm not putting nobody on. And Maddux comes to me and Bobby and says, Leo, Bobby, we can go ahead and walk him if you want. So Bobby goes, no. He said, if the game's on the line, let's just go put him on and we'll move from there. Don't be afraid to tell me to walk somebody. 7th inning, here comes Luis Gonzalez. First base is open. Bobby goes, Leo, here's the guy he said he didn't want to pitch to. He's going to walk him. Just go out and tell him to go ahead and put him on. Let's move on to the next guy. I said, okay. So I go out to the mound. Mad Dog, here's the guy you said you wanted to put on. Let's just go put him on and move and then go to the next guy. He goes, no. He goes, wait a minute. I said, what do you mean? Now Bobby's looking in the dugout wondering what the hell's going on out there, So I said, what do you mean? He goes, I'm going to throw him a sinker, a change up away for a ball. Then I'm going to throw a cutter in on his hands. And he's going to pop it up to Chipper at third base. And I looked at him, and the infielders are waiting for me to say something. They'll go, what in the world? I said, okay. So that was a big decision. So I go back in and Bobby's raising Cane going, what? I said, Bobby, don't worry. He said he's going to pop him up to third base. So, can you imagine that kind of conversation going on in the dugout? Well, anyway, change up away, ball 1. Cutter up above his hands, pop up to third base to Chipper Jones in foul territory. And we started laughing in the dugout, and I said, that's unbelievable. I've never seen anything like that. But those are some of the things that these great guys accomplished. And I've got one time, I'll finish this with me and Bobby Cox. By the way, Bobby Cox, greatest man in my life, with the exception of my father. had more influence on my life in the city of Atlanta and the state of Georgia, should be very proud and happy that he blessed us as a manager of the Atlanta Braves for a long time. One time he said we were playing the Cubs, right? We're playing the Chicago Cubs and we're in Wrigley Field. It's 5-5, 7th inning, and it's just hot as could be, day game. Bobby goes, I need some coffee. I need some coffee. I said, well, don't get no coffee. I said, you'll blow up. You'll have a heart attack. I don't care. I'm getting one anyway. I said, okay. And he goes, well, what do you want? I said, well, the way this game's going, I could use a beer, jokingly. He calls up and goes, send me down a coffee and send Leo down a beer. And the clubhouse guy said, what? He goes, you heard me. Send me down a coffee, send Leo down a beer. I said, Bobby, he goes, no. He says, tell him to put it in a coffee cup, put the beer in a coffee cup. So now I'm sitting there like this, and he goes, and so the clubhouse guy goes, here's your coffee, guys. So now I'm sitting around looking, wondering, okay, where's TBS, where's WGN? I never cared about cameras before. Bobby goes, well, drink the damn thing. And I said, yeah, but it's coffee, I can't chug it. I'm supposed to drink. So we started laughing about it, you know. We ended up winning the game 6-5. He doesn't say nothing, I don't say nothing. Next day, he's a very superstitious man. He goes, 8th inning. Send me down a coffee, send Leo down a beer. I said, you know what, if we get on a winning streak, this is going to be pretty good here, you know, every night. We brought in a left-hander, Kent Merker, who did a great job for us. Kent Merker gave up a home run, walk-off home run in the bottom of the ninth to Hector Villanueva, a backup catcher for the Cubs. Bobby tore the lineup card, threw it at me, and said, that's the last beer you will ever have in this dugout. But those are the kind of things that we had a lot of fun with. The greatest pitchers in the history of the game. The thing that I'm most proud of was they didn't miss any starts. Over all those years, we averaged making 147, 150 of our 162 game starts for 15 years with Bobby and I. The 15 years that Bobby and I spent together were the greatest 15 years of my life. The state of Georgia is the state where all my childhood dreams came true. From the time I was 9 years old to now, I've had the support of family and friends to get me to where I am today. And I want you to know that the state of Georgia, the Atlanta Braves, friends, family, everybody, I couldn't have done it by myself. But you know what? I had the fortune of having the greatest manager in the history of baseball. I had the greatest boss in Hank Aaron in the minor leagues. Hank Aaron and Bobby Cox gave me 2 pieces of advice. Hank Aaron said, Leo, there's your pitchers, take care of them. Bobby Cox said, Leo, there's your pitchers, take care of them. They didn't have to tell me how to do it because I studied under the greatest pitching coach in the history of the game, Johnny Sane. It all worked. And once again, thank you. This is a tremendous honor. I can't believe this. I didn't know what to expect. This is a tremendous honor. This is a first-class operation. I see the recipients of these ones, and I don't feel like I'm as good as they are. But I also know that I had the fortune of being with the greatest pitchers in the history of baseball. And they went to the post when it was their turn. Thank you very much.